Peace Clark, Lindsay, Karen, and Joy. All apologies for my delayed response to this week's discussion. And I do apologize for the lighting. I usually refuse to use any unnatural light for as long as possible, and the sun just went somewhere else. So I'm just going to start with this quote from Healers on Healing, the healing journey. The healer's concern, attention, and love for the patient serve to create a special bond, thus moving a simple medical treatment into the realm of a healing art. That kind of, just that understanding anchored me further into into the understanding this is the path that I'm supposed to be on. And that also kind of led me to my experience with my dyad partner this week. I think what happens if I hear anybody going through a challenge or there's any discontent or distress, my attention is to providing a safe container, yes, but also I felt myself wanting to give like instant relief. What can I do for her? How could I how could I just help her breathe, and that kind of touches upon Fantina English's work with, when her talking about the three ego states with the child, the parent, and the adult. And sometimes not always understanding that help that you want to give might sometimes be hurting more than it's helping, or you have to give room and space for all of those things to come up and out, because it may just be about the client articulating that for themselves for a moment. It's not about you necessarily having to go and wrangle, save, or control. So that was something that came up for me in my dyad this week. And then Fantina, she just seems like a kindred spirit. I felt like there were 30 lifetimes being lived within that 6-page article about her life and her journey, and understanding the necessity in it being so varied, because it is a quilt that we're building after all. And the ups and downs that she went through, all of the different people, and how much her life reflected those gypsies that she admired early in her childhood. And I love the fact that she connected psychotherapy to fortune telling, because there is such an intuitive aspect to it. I think without it, our work wouldn't be possible. It's, you have to connect with what you are feeling. You have to connect with the language that isn't obvious, the sights, all of the things that are not able to be seen. We have to be translators of those realms, thus making our work magic, because it really is. We are benders of the light and the sword and the stone and the pistol and the mortar and the cauldron. Like, we are doing all of that, and the paperwork and the assessment, like figuring out how to bring those two worlds together. So I really appreciated the offerings this week of connecting the holistic with the more so allopathic. Mind disease, health in Tibetan medicine. Yeah, the energy is said to dissolve in death, to be blocked or disrupted in disease, and to be channeled or controlled in the practice of meditation. It is the core concept of Tibetan medicine, psychiatry, and tantric meditation. And that kind of just that connection with the natural flow of the body, and it being something that's so accessible as far as understanding that the imbalances are not outside of us. It's definitely something that if we create different mediums of balance within our experiences, that everything will be leveled. And when it is not, this is why this is happening. Forging mind, body, and spirit, like bringing them together as one. And I really appreciated the analogies and the metaphor and yeah, just the connection to nature, just the conversation about prana and chi, and understanding how powerful our life force is. Um, and also, I'm gonna go back and forth because in a quest to not go over 5 minutes, which I've already done, um, the three ego states, parent, adult, and child, um, and understanding that they all must coexist, and it's not always necessary to be mature at all times. That I think that it's important to play, but it's important to also protect and create safety, and it's also important to be diplomatic and be responsible and be able to move well in the world, as they said in the reading. Oh, and all of the currents, the life-sustaining current, the ascending, pervasive, metabolic, descending, like just the breakdown of all of that and understanding the disruption of Lung and those all of those things being something that we are in control of. You know what I mean? We're in control of whether or not we have a poor diet. You know, we're in control of whether we create long fasting for ourselves or not sleeping or obsessive thoughts. Like all of those things are all about creating a sort of medium of balance, and that was where I kind of found myself in an interesting place this week. Last week, our my diet partner and I's exchange was, I wouldn't say seamless, but it was like we focused on intake, assessment, and just kind of going with the flow to see where we both were. Like, what were we presenting? What was this about? Whereas this week, it was like my intuition, as much as it was appreciated, there were certain things that I may have been offering that didn't resonate with her. And I was able to receive that. I'm always able to receive that. I was able to listen. But really, it was an example for me when you have a client that's somewhat resistant. And I'll say in the sense of, she was telling me that there was just no time. There was no way to create any kind of mental space in order for her to press reset and start again. And I was so adamant about helping her to understand that there has to be a way, because that's the only way that this work is going to help you to expand and grow. And this is the only way that you're going to be able to transform your experience and what you're feeling right now. So that was very interesting. So I'm going to stop here. I'm at 8:07, and I hope that I said something that was like, that made sense, because I was going blah, 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 blah. So sending love to you all, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.